Do you remember the jingle of coins in your pocket on a Saturday morning in 1950s America? That crisp dollar bill your grandmother pressed into your palm, warm from her pocketbook, holding the promise of an entire day's adventure? Welcome back to Golden Days USA, friends. Today we're traveling back to the good old days when one single dollar made you feel like the richest kid on the block. 1950s. America was truly a golden era. The war was finally behind us. Our boys had come home. Factories that once built tanks were now producing automobiles, refrigerators, and all the wonderful things that made life simpler in America. Post-war America was building, growing, and dreaming bigger than ever before. Families were thriving, communities were strong, and hope filled the air like the smell of fresh apple pie cooling on a windowsill. The average American worker earned about $3,000 a year. Now, I know that sounds impossibly small today, but here's what the younger generation doesn't understand about vintage American life: that money stretched, it breathed, it worked as hard as the people who earned it. This was before credit cards changed everything, before buy now, pay later became the American way. People saved up for what they wanted. They waited patiently, and because of that waiting, they appreciated things so much more. A dollar in 1950 wasn't just paper currency. It was a promise that honest work could provide for your family, a promise that you could put food on the table, keep a roof overhead, and still have enough left for life's simple pleasures. If you enjoyed our video on life in America before technology changed everything, you understand exactly what I mean. There was a dignity to classic American life that's hard to explain to those who never experienced it. So what could that magical dollar actually buy you back then? Pull up a chair, friends. Let me paint the picture. Close your eyes with me for just a moment. It's a warm June Saturday in small-town America, 1950. You're 12 years old and your mother just handed you $1 for helping with chores all week. One whole dollar, all yours. You step outside, the screen door slamming behind you with that familiar wooden crack. The neighborhood is alive with sounds. Kids on bicycles, the distant hum of a lawnmower, Mr. Henderson waving from his porch. This was when neighbors knew each other by name and every street felt like family. First stop, the classic American movie theater. For just 35 cents, you walk through those grand double doors into the cool darkness of the picture palace. The smell of fresh popcorn wraps around you. Red velvet seats stretch before you like a sea of luxury. First comes the newsreel, then a cartoon, maybe Tom and Jerry, and finally, the main feature. You sink into that seat for nearly 3 hours of pure escapism. You walk out blinking in the afternoon sun, and guess what? You're still holding 65 cents. Now your stomach growls. Time for the classic American diner. Remember those places? Checkered floors, chrome stools that spun, the sizzle of hamburgers on the flat-top grill, the friendly waitress who called everyone honey. Just like we explored in classic American diners we all miss so much, these places were the beating heart of every community. A thick, juicy hamburger wrapped in wax paper, 15 cents. An ice-cold Coca-Cola in a glass bottle sweating in the summer heat, just a nickel. You've spent 20 cents, 45 cents still jingling in your pocket. The 5 and dime store calls your name next. Oh, those wonderful places, the wooden floors creaking beneath your feet, glass display cases filled with treasures, the friendly clerk who knew your parents by name. This was how Americans used to shop, personally, warmly, with real human connection. For 10 cents you pick up the latest Superman comic book. The pages smell like fresh ink and endless possibility. Another dime buys a handful of penny candies, Mary Jane's, bitter honey, wax bottles filled with sweet syrup, those little dots on paper strips you peeled off with your teeth. 25 cents remaining. The day is still young. You stop by the old-fashioned soda fountain for a root beer float. 10 cents. The ice cream bobbing in fizzy root beer, the long-handled spoon clinking against the tall glass. Pure heaven in every sip. Outside, the ice cream truck jingles down the street. You chase it down and buy a popsicle for a nickel. Orange, of course, your favorite. 10 cents left for the pinball machine at the drugstore. You pull back that spring-loaded lever and watch the silver ball bounce between bumpers, bells ringing with every point scored. And there you are, walking home as the sun sets, pockets finally empty but heart completely full. $1. An entire day of adventure, a movie, a meal, a comic book, candy, treats and games, all from that single bill your grandmother pressed into your palm that morning. That, my friends, was growing up in 1950s America. That was the golden age of American childhood. That was when life was simple and good. Did you experience days like this? What was your favorite way to spend $1 back then? Was it the movies, the candy store, maybe saving up for something special at the toy shop? Tell me your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and each memory matters. I wish I could tell you that dollar kept its magic forever, but we both know that's not how the story goes. The years passed, decades rolled by like leaves in an autumn wind, and slowly, almost without us noticing at first, that dollar began to shrink. By 1970, it bought about half of what it once did. By 1990, you'd be lucky to get a candy bar. And today, you can barely buy a cup of coffee for $1 anymore. The corner stores we loved closed their doors forever. The soda fountains disappeared, replaced by fast food chains. The five and dimes, with their creaky floors and glass cases, became nothing but bittersweet memories. As we discussed in Why Everything Was Built to Last in the 1950s, there was a quality to vintage American life that simply doesn't exist anymore. Not just in products, but in pace, in values, in human connection. That 35-cent movie ticket now costs over $10. That 15-cent hamburger, you're looking at $7 or more. Progress brought many wonderful things. I won't deny that. Medicine improved, technology connected us, conveniences our grandparents couldn't imagine became everyday realities. But something precious was lost too, something intangible. The feeling of abundance, the sense that a working family could truly thrive, the trust between merchant and customer, the slower pace that allowed us to actually savor what we purchased. If you watched our video on what we lost when Main Street disappeared, you understand this bittersweet truth. These are things we lost and will never get back. When I think about children today, my heart aches a little, not for what they have, because they have so much, but for what they'll never experience. The weight of real coins in a pocket, the deliberation of choosing between treasures when every penny mattered, the satisfaction of making $1 stretch across one perfect, unforgettable day. But here's the beautiful truth, friends. Those memories of old America haven't lost their value. In fact, they've appreciated more than any stock or savings account ever could. Because what that dollar really bought us wasn't just movies and hamburgers and comic books. It bought us time. Time with our families, time with our friends, time in a world that felt safer, simpler, and absolutely full of wonder. That feeling of walking into a Saturday morning with pure possibility in your pocket, that's priceless. The sound of your shoes on the wooden floor of the five and dime, no money on earth can recreate that. We lived through the golden age of American life, and we were blessed enough to recognize it. We carry these memories like treasures, more valuable now than ever before. If this video brought back sweet memories, please like and subscribe to Golden Days USA. We share these precious memories together every week. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. God bless, friends.